Hey guys, and welcome back. So I'm really excited for this video because I'm actually practicing one of the things I'm going to be sharing with you guys right now, recording this video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about positive changes that I made in 2022 that really helped with my character development. And I'm literally practicing one of them right now by recording this video because honestly, I did not want to record this video. Being very honest, I procrastinated. I have just been so tired, uninspired, but I made a promise to myself and to my audience. Hey subscribers, all 13 of you guys, hey. I made a promise to post every Thursday originally it was 2, but now it's 6, but to post every Thursday. And I feel like your word is your bond, so that's what I'm doing. I wanted to break this down in a way that you can understand my thought process, because the way that my brain works, I understand everyone's brain doesn't work the way that my brain works. Honestly, the biggest change I feel like I made last year that helped with my success was being more mindful and just appreciating the power of mindfulness. And this is something I feel like I practiced before by extra practice last year, and it was with different areas of my life that I really saw this come into play. So the 4 areas I want to share with you guys that I made changes in was number 1, my diet, number 2, my time, number 3, the media that I consumed, and also the conversations that I was having. I think the biggest thing to understand is at all points, you're literally consuming something. Your body is never internalizing something, consuming something, whether it be light, whether it be sound, whether it be just energy. Your body's always internalizing something, and it's really important to be mindful of what it is that your body's internalizing. And a big thing that I also realized was everything is a choice, right? What you decide to put your focus on plays a large role in the result that you get in life. So being more mindful of the food that I ate, being more mindful of the people that I was around, being more mindful of what I was watching on the regular, and being more mindful of how I was spending my time allowed me to see where I was wasting energy and how I could redirect it to something more positive to really help me become that version of myself that everyone talks about, right? Your higher version, the it girl, whatever you want to call it. That higher version of myself wouldn't be doing a lot of things that I was doing prior to making those changes. And a big reason for that is honestly because if you really think about it, a lot of us live our life on default. And I can only speak for myself, but I know that it's very easy to become a habitual person, someone a creature of habit, right? That's what it's called. So someone who just does things because they always do things and you don't question it. And the more that you do something, the less that you question it, the more it becomes natural. When you're driving, do you really think as intently as a driver as you did when you first started? No, because it's not something new. It's something that your body has gotten used to. So also understanding that, I began to think, how can I shock my body? I know they talk about this when it comes to exercising. You want to change up your normal mode of action in order to kind of get your body caught off guard to where it has to learn something new. You want to create new pathways in your mind so your brain actually has to be present, and that you could turn on your conscious mind to start implementing new things into your subconscious to create better habits for yourself. But all change starts with just simply being mindful. You cannot change something if you aren't aware of what you're doing. So the way that I changed in these 4 categories was asking myself these 3 questions. Number 1 is, how does it make me feel? One thing that I talk about in my previous videos is the power of feeling. Your body doesn't really remember words or even images as much as it remembers a feeling. When you think back to a memory, or whenever you just remember something in general, do you remember the literal event as precisely as you remember the way that it made you feel? Think back to a birthday surprise. So unfortunately, I ran out of space on the camera, so I still have the audio, but there's no video to go along with it. So I'm going to insert a picture of myself, and you guys can stare at me and listen to me talk, but you won't see my mouth moving because it'll be a picture. But it's a lot of value, so I'm still going to upload the audio. A birthday surprise, think back to something happy, back to something sad. Notice how even when I said think back to, I related it with emotion, because your body understands emotions better than it understands literally anything else. So considering that your body is just naturally an emotional kind of system, you have to think, how does doing something make me feel? The foods that I'm eating, how does it make me feel? your body can also lie to you, right? Your mind, or at least your mind, can play tricks on you. So it's important to take mastery over your mind. You could think that eating that donut makes you feel good, but does it actually make your body feel good, or does the idea of a donut make you feel good? Does the sugar in the moment make you feel good because it tastes good in that instant, but afterwards you're feeling sluggish? Does eating that pizza make you feel good in that instant, but afterwards you're bloated and your skin's breaking out? And I'm using these examples because those are my two favorite foods. So this is no way judging anyone. It's simply coming from experience. It's really important to be intentional and be aware of what's truth and what's not, and what's your mind playing tricks on you and what's actually reality. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there's actually like a bacteria like in your stomach. Like, you know, that's how your body breaks down food, right? Like, I feel like everyone knows that there's bacteria in your gut, right? And there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And what happens is a lot of sugary foods fuels the growth of that bad bacteria. So what this bad bacteria does is it releases chemicals to make your brain think like, oh, I want more. Like, this tastes so good. Like, oh, the fats, the sugars, all this stuff is so yummy. Yeah, for the bacteria, even though it's bad for you. So you really have something within your gut, inside of you, playing tricks on your mind to make you think that you like something, knowing that it's actually detrimental to your body. And what happens is you have the proliferation of this bad bacteria in your gut thriving off of your bad decisions because you thought that's what you wanted, even though your body's telling you something different. So being mindful of what you're eating will go a long way. And it's also important to think about why you do the things that you do. I'm not saying become this like person who's like questions everything, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I here? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. What I'm saying is just being mindful and question, why am I choosing A over B if I know that A isn't good for me? Why am I choosing to eat this donut even though I know it's not going to help me nutritionally, but it just feels good in this moment? And I think when you start being aware of things that you're doing and questioning what is the source of this, what is the root of this, you'll realize that a lot of times you're either living off the present moment or just living off of habit. You're probably maybe just eating pizza because I always eat pizza. Why not? Yeah, I know it doesn't make me feel good, but I'm just used to this type of eating habit. Why am I wasting in like 3 hours on Instagram? I mean, do I want to? Not really, but I just did it yesterday. So like, I'll change tomorrow, right? Do I really want to be gossiping about people? No, but these are my friends and I don't want to like cause a rift, and this is what we always do. So like, I'm not going to shake it up. It's not good to just do something just because you've been doing it if you know it's wrong. The third thing that I think is important to really be mindful of when you're considering these 4 different categories is what's an alternative to A? What is an alternative to this thing? And what can I swap in place of this? Because what I've noticed for a lot of people, including myself, is whenever I notice these negative habits or these bad things I'm doing, I immediately go ahead and say like, okay, like, let me just stop. Cold turkey. Let me just stop doing this. But in reality, that doesn't really work long term. Just simply cutting something out doesn't erase the problem. And instead, what you do is you just create this empty space and this empty time and this just like nothingness. And what it will leave you with is a longing even more for what you used to be doing. You know, lots of people say like, you know, just cut off your friends or just stop eating bad or just go on a strict diet. That stuff never works long term because you have nothing in place of that. I think what's more important is introducing healthier habits and healthier environments than just simply cutting out the old ones. Because when you're left with empty space, your habits will then kick in. Your body will then go into what it's used to instead of forming something new. So I would suggest for someone like me, something that I did is because I really love bread and sweets and pizza, I started finding an alternative. So instead of just eating a cupcake because I wanted a cupcake, I'm like, okay, well, do I really want a cupcake or do I just want something sweet? I just want something sweet. Let me make a smoothie. That's what happens when you question, why do I want this over alternative? What is the root of this? Understanding that you probably don't want to really eat a whole tub of ice cream. You just want something cold so it's going to make you feel better. Make a smoothie bowl. You probably don't want a whole bag of chips. You just want something salty. Go make some kale chips or go make some good avocado toast. The point is to not deplete your body of something that it wants because it wants it. Just give it something that's a little bit better and that's something that's more conducive to that person that you really want to be, or something that's really going to nourish your body and take care of it, or nourish your soul and take care of it. You don't really want to be a loner. You're just tired of hanging out with people who make you feel bad and talk bad about other people. Go join a club. Go join a church. Go join like something, anything else with people who are like who you want to be like. And once you figure out why you do the things that you do, why you choose A over B, and some swaps that you can make that are pretty simple, then it's time to actually act on them. Because being aware and being mindful is the beginning step, and it is really important, but it means nothing if you're not actually going to make any changes. So some actionable steps that I made last year that actually helped me grow was I said no. It's so important to learn how to say no to things that are not really for you. And this could be super hard, whether it be no to events, whether it be no to people, whether it be no to food. When naturally your body wants to go that way, your mind wants to go that way, but you know it's not best for you, saying no could just feel like, it could feel like the worst thing in the world. But saying no goes along with delayed gratification, because saying no to, whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, right? Whenever you say yes to junk food, you're saying no to a healthier lifestyle. Whenever you say yes to posting garbage about people and being negative to people, whenever you say yes to that, you're saying no to creating a positive environment for people to make mistakes and grow from it. Whenever you say yes to just laying in bed all day watching TV and feeling guilty for watching TV and repeating that cycle, you're saying no to just taking one baby step towards getting out of bed, showering, and just getting one task done that you know is going to make you feel better. Whenever you say yes to something, you say no to something else. On the flip side, whenever you say yes to making positive changes, you're saying no to that old person that you want to die out. Saying yes to making your breakfast and your lunch the night before instead of waiting until the next day is saying no to being a person who's not prepared. Saying yes to cleaning your room every single Friday is saying no to being the person who is not scheduled. You have to understand you make choices every single day, and it's up to you what you make that choice on. And you can only make those choices when you're aware that you have the power to create those choices. You can only control what you can control, which are your actions, saying yes and saying no. One thing that's really helped me be more of a productive person, because I really do struggle with procrastination. Literally just making this video, I'm making it the same day that I'm going to post it, which was not originally my intent at all. I'm just grateful that I was able to follow through and actually post it. One thing that's helped me is saying, let me just. There are times, like right now, I just feel like I do not feel like doing anything. There is no inch of motivation in my body. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And the thing that gets me to do it is let me just. Saying let me just has led me to actually accomplishing so many things. I'm not going to say like some grand things. Like I'm not going to say like, oh, let me to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Like no. But saying let me just has allowed me to getting out of bed. Saying let me just has led me to getting my car washed, even though I just don't feel like it. Saying let me just has led me to eat food, even though I just don't feel like eating and I'd rather just go to sleep. Let me just has helped me to just wash dishes. The key to this is just saying that you're going to do one small thing, and while you're there, might as well follows pretty much after. It's a whole combination. It's let me just, might as well. Let me just, might as well. Let me just wash this fork that I used. I might as well just wash the rest of the dishes. And if you don't, it's okay. Be patient with yourself. At least you did something. Let me just wash my face so I just don't feel so ugly. You know what? Might as well just hop in the shower real quick. I'm probably going to just lay in bed if I don't. Let me just go to the store and grab some lunch for tomorrow. While I'm here, I might as well just buy the rest of the food for the week. Sometimes it's really hard to just start, and that's the truth of it. But if you don't start, you will never finish. The last thing that I really was able to grow into in 2022 was my level of discernment. Prior to 2022, and honestly, even in the beginning, I just really had this struggle with trusting myself. And I feel like if you cannot trust yourself, you will trust everyone else, and everyone else does not have the best interest for you. Being more mindful of how I spent my time, of people that I was around, of the media that I was consuming, of the things I was eating, led me to trusting my discernment, because I was aware. If you don't know better, you can't do better. But once you know something, right, once you're aware of something, you know when something's just simply not true. The biggest thing that I noticed about this was the media. I posted a previous video about how deleting social media really saved me and saved my relationship with God, but also allowed me to confront certain things that I was ignoring. also being mindful of the media that I was consuming allowed me to make intentional changes. Like, instead of wasting hours on Instagram, I started actually watching TEDx videos. I used to watch them before, but I started watching more of them and just like learning different things and really pouring value into myself. So then when I actually ended up going back onto certain social platforms, I was like, what is this? Like, you can see through things a lot better when you realize a lot of it just has no value. It's meant for people to just simply watch, become numb, because people are really bogged down by this regular world. A lot of people are unhappy. They are either having relationship issues, work issues, internal issues. A lot of people don't even like themselves. And when you're able to step away from what the world is pushing at you, what the media wants you to think, like what they provide you as an escape, you'll see that a lot of this stuff is just meant to keep you stuck in this cycle. If you really like go on social media, I don't know, like everyone's different, right? But I know for me, like whenever I go on social media, I would just see like the same, I would just see this stuff and be like, what is this even? Like, and at first I thought it was just like, funny, like, oh, haha, I can relate to that. Or, oh, haha, that's funny. Like a lot of like funny stuff where you think you're getting something out of it because you get a laugh, but in reality, there's no value behind it. Like, that's the biggest thing. Being intentional about things that you consume based on its value. A lot of this media does not have value. A lot of food does not have value. A lot of conversations don't have value. A lot of the way that you spend your time doesn't have value. And at its core, you think because something makes you feel good that it's valuable, but it's not, because it keeps you in the same place and it keeps you stagnant to the person that you were before. And the thing that I always see, especially around the new year, is new year, new me, right? Like, I'm stepping into this person, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But a lot of times people neglect to think about who they are in order to change that, right? A lot of times people talk about who they want to become and the things they want to do, but never ever mention the person that they are now and what they have to do to become that person, because they're not mindful and they're not aware. And this is by no means to judge anyone or to seem critical, but it's just literally things that I went through last year that allowed me to become more present and just be more aware of things that I wasn't happy with myself. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I really just wanted to share how I think about things, how I break things down, because people ask me all the time, like, how did you think of this? And I'm always like, I don't know, I read books, but that's not really the case. The real truth of how I think of the things that I think of and act the way I act is because I question a lot of things. I just think a lot. Like, as lame as that answer sounds, I think a lot. And I feel like more people should probably be thinking. Not to sound like cocky, like, oh, I think more than everybody else. But in all honesty, I really feel like if people just stop to be more mindful about things, you would realize a lot more and be able to make those changes. If you found this video helpful, please like it. That would help, boost my channel a little bit. I hope you guys liked my content. I hope you guys found this video to be insightful, and more so than ever, I hope you guys take these principles, reflect on them for yourself, and then are able to apply it. If you watch this video, it's likely because you want to see changes, right? Like, you want to see yourself grow. So I pray for everyone watching this video that you not only acknowledge ways that you may have been habitually doing things before, but also make those changes and also bless others with the changes that you make for the better. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys checked out my last video, and I pray everyone has a good rest of your day. See ya!